YouTube, what's up, family? What's up, newcomers? What's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. Sit back, eat, drink, play me while you're doing homework, do whatever. The worst subjects in school. Comment down your favorite subject. Earlier, it used to be math, but then I just like science.
Ever told me before I went to college is the fact that before you start your major classes, like the ones that actually teach you what you need to know before you get a job, you have to take a bunch of random classes that fulfill requirements set by the university. And if you don't, you can't graduate. As a matter of fact, you can't even sign up for the classes I was talking about earlier. Now, the reason that I'm even complaining about this is because in order to graduate, you need to fulfill a lot of requirements, and a lot of them have nothing to do with your actual major. So as a result, for the first 2 years of your college career, maybe even 3 if you're dumb like me, you just take a bunch of bullshit like high school level classes that have nothing to do with your major and are completely useless for you, and
Exactly. He know. It'll make you do English. I remember when I had to do English. That was boring. Not writing no seven. I don't even know. Cause I always thought the Disney World era was fake. That's real. You will be having to write like 1,000 word paper, no plagiarism. Like what are y'all talking about? And then they force you to do math too. Nobody's not trying to do that, and you just trying to go to school for probably associate of arts or something. They'll just
you're fucking paying for it. Like, take me for example, okay? I'm a third-year marketing major with a minor in psychology. Why the fuck am I taking a health and nutrition class? And the worst part about it, I feel like professors, whenever they have to teach these sort of classes, they kind of know, like, why everyone's taking the class. So they just kind of fuck off. And the classes are literally just bullshit, and I'm paying for them. Like, look at this fucking assignment, okay? We had to make a food log. I am a junior in college, and this pattern of the school just abusing me for money is very consistent throughout my college career. Like, look at my fucking freshman classes, bro. Okay, econ, stat, that's chill. But then, boom! African American history. Goddamn cinema as art. Fucking accounting. I am a goddamn marketing major. Why the fuck am I taking these classes? Environmental sciences? Astronomy? Hello? Art 133? Like, come on.
yeah, I remember that too. Forced me to do an art class. I love art, but it was in person though, so couldn't. Oh, what else? I did science. I actually aced it though. Memorized the whole thing.
God, I'm a YouTuber. And for a while, I was just like, why? Why am I doing all of this? But then I realized since you're paying tuition, the more classes you take equals more money for the school. So obviously they're gonna make you take a bunch of bullshit classes in order to graduate, because that's why you're even going to the school in the first place. Either way, that's why I'm making this whole video. Back when I was in high school, I pretty much had the same mindset to just about all of my classes, mainly because I really didn't see a point. I think after I learned about sine, cosine, and tangent and read like a 3,000-year-old book in English, I realized, yeah, I'm not gonna use any of this in my real life. And I just saw high school as something you needed to graduate, then you go to college and actually learn the important shit there. Obviously, that is not the case, as I just explained, but because of this mindset, I have a bunch of funny stories of stupid shit I would do in my high school classes. But before we dive into all of that, I do need to address the sponsor of today's video, Question AI. Sponsored message, used it to script software that Question AI has phone. That's the best part. Like I said before, it's advanced. Find yourself taking a bunch of useless college classes like me. But now I know what you're thinking, okay? Well, what if I actually have to learn the problems? Well, Question AI has that covered, because they
Still not
can
done.
use Question AI for that. Yeah, all of that. You can just use Question AI as it for you and extract all the membership for Question AI for $39.99. Or you just want to get a good grade in high school.
Welcome to our animation lab. This is where all of the visual effects magic happens. As you can see, this lab.
Alright, so I'm not gonna lie, the first story we got is honestly kind of mellow. We pretty much just bullied a foreign Chinese teacher. Basically, right before my freshman year, both of our school's Chinese teachers ended up finding new jobs, so the school was like scrambling to find a replacement. And despite being a prestigious all-boys Catholic high school, the best they could do was some Chinese lady who was like fresh off the boat. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that was an exaggeration, but she was definitely on some sort of like work visa, because this bitch could not speak English. And about a week into the school year, this becomes abundantly clear to all of her students, so they they just start fucking with her, okay? They start playing dog whistles in class, birds chirping, fucking monkey noises, or really just saying whatever the fuck you wanted.
Oh, my dick.
And for every single exam, one kid who spoke fluent Mandarin because his family is Chinese would go up to the front and ask her to grade his paper, and as she's grading the paper, he would have all the answers on another paper, hold it behind his back while he's talking to the teacher, and everyone in the class taking the test would just copy his fucking answers. And the craziest part about
Real nigga. I remember in 9th grade, right? Boom. 9th grade had this science teacher, you know. Shout out him, you know. He was cool. Everybody keeps saying he was strict and all that. I mean, they was never really strict me. But shout out him. Every time it was like a do now. So you had to do the do now. After the 15 minutes of do now's up, switch papers with whatever, either the person next to you, somebody behind you. Boom, do that. Then you're going to say, okay, question 1, answer A. Boom. If you was the cool person, you know that the person beside you would get like the answer wrong. You would just erase it, but you keep in mind, if he seen you do it, both of y'all get a 0. So you had to really sneak. Shout out to him.
me knowing all of this is that I wasn't even in the class, okay? I took fucking Spanish. During my freshman year, we had a free period third block, okay? And third block was also the same time my friend had his Mandarin class. And you know, the teacher doesn't know what the fuck's going on. She's just like, oh, hello, hello. So it's like we just walk in during our free period and sit in the class as if we're students and just participate in the tomfoolery.
Yep, they were drawing this in the books, scratching all of it.
Unfortunately, I don't have any video evidence because we couldn't have our phones at this school, but we did a copious amount of unhinged shit. For example, my friend had a box of markers and just fell and threw the markers everywhere. We would also play Gangnam Style like all the time in that class, which was just fucking hilarious because that song's Korean. I tried to start a finger painting club in that class, which I actually do have video evidence of.
From the classroom, so there's a new club starting up called the Finger Painting Club.
They never know how to hold the camera straight.
Yes, can I sign up, please?
I remember one kid in that class actually got expelled our freshman year because he made his name Jizzy Boy on the Kahoot. But finally, all of this came crashing down.
How though? How would they know it's him? I always wanted to try that.
When one day my friend was sitting in the class pretending to be a student and called the teacher mom on purpose. Now the reason I find that so funny is because we would call her other names, like way worse than mom, but I don't think she knew what they meant and would just run with it, right? But since mom is such a popular word in the English dictionary, she knew what that meant, and she was like, hold on, why the fuck are you calling me mom? She then kicked him out of the class and then reported all of us for loitering in her class, which turns out that she knew it was happening the whole time, she just didn't care, which is also really fucking funny. But yeah, she ended up like quitting the next year, I think. I don't think she works there anymore, so maybe it was because of us, maybe she wanted to go back to China, I don't know. She was also a terrible teacher, like she didn't know fucking English.
Yeah. Shout out my 4th grade teacher. I don't know. He was like from Brazil or something. I don't know. He was like the best teacher ever. Nice, giving out candy, you know. And then he was an interactive teacher too. He wasn't boring, just sitting down, telling you, okay, yeah, just do this work while great. No. He was interactive. And then just 2 weeks later, he just said, oh yeah, you guys know I'm just gonna move back to my country. I don't really know why. He just said that. And then we just switched the teachers. I don't know. We just switched teachers. He just moved away for no reason.
So, yeah, that's the first story. Our crazily incompetent Mandarin teacher.
I actually didn't complete college. For the past 16 years, I've been in sales. I've been stuck in survival mode. And so when
Alright, so this next story is more about my teacher more than anything, but I guess I'll still tell it. Basically, in my English class sophomore year, we had to read To Kill a Mockingbird. Don't ask why we were reading that in high school. I read that at my public school in 8th grade, but still, we were doing it. And to start off the book, we did popcorn reading for the first chapter. Then fast forward a little bit, we get to page 41, okay? And for some reason, my teacher stops the kid reading and is like, hold on, I'll take it from here. Now, for those of you who don't know, To Kill is about slavery, and page 41 is the first page in the book where they use the N-word. And I kid you not, this kid gets to the sentence right before they use the word. The teacher stops him, he's like, yo, I'll take it from here. And you
Thing with popcorn reading, right? I remember I was a junior, and it was just so funny, right? Shout out to all my teachers, they was cool. Never really had no problem with them. Popcorn reading randomly. But it'd be boring though. It's like, okay, like for what though? It's like I know how to read. Okay, boom. They call you, okay, then you pick somebody else. And then every time they'll always pick like the person that don't really know how to read that good. I don't really know. You had to ask, everybody was trying to hold in their laugh. I was too. Really wasn't trying to laugh loud. I don't know if we really would get a 0 from that, but it just was so funny. I never laughed loud. I tried to hold it, and I did.
we all see the word on the book. We think he's about to give us a lecture on the N-word and why it's inappropriate. This motherfucker starts reading. And without context, without warning, he just rips the hard R. And immediately we all hear this. We're like, yo, that did not just fucking happen. And he's like, guys, relax, calm down. When this book was written and the time it takes place.
See, yeah. Yeah, exactly. He always wanted to say that wasn't no excuse. He wanted to say he been waiting. And then it's like, okay, you can't get in trouble for it because you was reading a book. So it's like, okay, well, you guys just relax. It was just in the book. Come on.
It was normalized, and I don't want to take away from the
P.S. Don't say that in public. I mean, you can do whatever you want. Just know. Just know.
integrity of the, shut the fuck up. You just said the hard R. Now, luckily, there weren't any black kids in my class. I wonder if he would have done that if there were. But pretty much, he basically just explains how it's not a big deal and how he's gonna continue saying the N-word because of the integrity of the book, for art purposes, I guess you could say.
Well, I think it is. Every word is a big deal. Every word is a big deal, and it's just so easy. Just don't say it. Nigga, I don't care what you do in your house. Y'all have the common sense to not say it in public, though, right? Same thing. It's just like with any other person, right? We don't say the M word, midget word. We don't say that, right? That's offensive. We don't say the F word. There's plenty. We don't say those. We don't say fat or the other F word. So it's plenty of words that, we just don't say because, okay, it's like, okay. So that's just an excuse for him to say it. There's plenty of other words that nobody don't say.
Say. But either way, class wraps up and we leave, and that's like the talk of the town for like the next week. And fast forward like another week, we're on chapter 2, and we were doing the popcorn reading. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I totally forget who was reading. They were behind me when this happened, but basically, the N-word comes up again, and one of the whitest kids you have ever seen is currently reading the book. And I mean, you can probably assume what happens next. He gets to the part where it says the N-word, and he doesn't just say it, okay? He fucking rips it. I remember the context was that he was calling someone an N-word lover, and it was almost as if Abraham Lincoln just fucking possessed him himself, because, like, the way he said it, his tone just made it the most racist thing I have ever heard. Like, when you say, like, hey, boy, it's not really that bad, but when you're like, hey, boy,
yeah,
it's pretty racist. Like, it's kind of like the same logic with that. His tone just made it so hateful. And obviously after he says that, everyone just starts dying laughing. The teacher is fucking pissed and sends him to like the principal's office. But then he told them, he's like, yo, our teacher literally encouraged it. He said it breaks the integrity of the book if you just blur out the N-word, especially because of the context of
Would he have said it if it was black people in there? I don't think he would have. Nah. Or yeah, I think he would have. I think he would have.
when it was written, blah, blah, blah. And the principal was like, what the fuck? The teacher said to say the N-word, and he's like, I know, right? And yeah, the teacher got fucking fired. So yeah, that is the story.
Why is everybody putting up with ads like it's 2010? Like it's 2025,
I'm
guys.
gonna
Just
need to
use
start
time. This
blocking
Chrome
them.
extension takes 5
I'm gonna
seconds.
need to start doing the ad blocker, hey. Cause
All right, so my sophomore year, I took biology,
I don't know
and we
what-
actually had a really cool teacher. Like, he always pulled up in rare Jordans and had, like, a really cool car, so I honestly kind of feel bad that I did this. But basically, we were doing some assignment with M&Ms, and we had to, like, organize them or something. I don't know, but we had a bunch of M&Ms, and we had to use them for the assignment. And, you know, me and my friends are fucking degenerates, so about halfway through the class when we're doing the project, we decided to throw the M&Ms at the teacher. So whenever he wasn't looking, all three of us would look down at our paper, one of us would look up, line up the shot, throw it, and immediately look back down. And when he turned around, he doesn't know who the fuck's doing it, everyone's working. So then he stops the class, he's like, yo, whoever threw the M&M, come up and tell me right now, you won't get in trouble. If I find out who did it though, you will be in a shit ton.
That's cap. That's exactly what the parents be saying. Listen, okay, listen. I'm not going to hit you. Just walk. I'm not going to hit you. Just walk. That's the
trouble.
crap. He's lying.
Obviously, we didn't own up to it, and we kept working. And we did it again. We threw another M&M at him. So then he starts getting really mad. Okay, he starts raising his voice. He's getting mad at us. He's like, yo, this is so disrespectful, blah, blah, blah. We're trying so hard to keep in our laughter. And he's just crashing out over getting M&Ms thrown at him. Then he's like, yo, whoever's doing that, just stop, okay? Otherwise, I will make it my mission to find out who it is and punish you accordingly. And I'm not gonna lie, okay? He seemed pretty mad and very serious, so it kind of scared us a little bit. So we threw another M&M at him. And at this point, he's like, no, everyone stop, everyone stand up. And we all have to stand up at our tables and not touch any of the M&Ms. And this motherfucker starts counting each group's M&Ms one by one. Apparently, every group is supposed to have at least 34 M&Ms. And we're like, fuck, dude, we only have 31. But guess what? Okay, it turns out that another group in the class also had only 31 Skittles because one of the motherfuckers ate 3 of them. Fucking fat ass. But here's the thing, okay? When the guy explained it to the teacher, he believed him because that group was in the front of the class. So the teacher could always see them. It couldn't have possibly been them throwing the M&M.
No, but that's Jeremy though. Why would you eat it and everybody else's hands been on it? Exactly. Just like with Sponge. What happened?
We are so fucked. But then I had an idea. Possibly been them throwing the M&M. So then we're like, fuck, what do? We are so fucked. But then I had an idea, okay? And honestly, this is like my best, most clutchest, quick thinking moment ever. Basically, while he was counting another group's M&Ms, I quickly took one from our pile. Then I go to my laptop and open up Google Chats because that's how people communicate at my school. You can't have your phones. And basically, I message my friend across the classroom, okay? He's in a group that's already been checked. And I'm like, yo, it was my group that was throwing the M&Ms at him. I'm gonna throw you this other M&M. I need you to throw the M&M at him while he's looking at my groups and counting the M&Ms. So that way he gets distracted and pissed off. And obviously clears us from suspicion because it couldn't be us who threw it. So when my teacher isn't looking, I end up throwing the M&M across the room. But here's the thing, okay, my friend doesn't fucking catch it. The kid misses, and it's a tiny-ass mini M&M. So this motherfucker is, like, on his hands and knees looking for this red M&M, and I'm just like, dude, fuck, we're fucked. But as my teacher is counting the M&Ms, Matthew comes to the rescue. Okay, his real name is Matthew, but I don't give a fuck. Basically, Matthew ends up finding the M&M on the ground, like, halfway through my teacher counting our M&Ms, and I guess Patrick Mahomes just fucking possessed him because he whips it at his teacher, hits him right in the head. You can hear, like, that noise. My teacher immediately jumps up. He's like, who the fuck was that? He's pissed. He's swearing and everything, and we're just, like, trying to hold in our laughter. And at this point, all the groups are, like, on the side of the room. Like, we're all hugging the wall. So, like, he has no idea who the fuck it could have.
Yeah, chemistry used to be fun. It used to. Same thing, right? Boom. All right, so I had first, I don't know, like, it's always, why is it always me that always have to change? The teachers decide to be leaving or something. So I think, like, the first month, cool old head, probably bald. I don't even remember. It was so long ago. Probably had a gray beard. But he was fire. You know, he wasn't boring, like I say. Them the teachers that y'all need. The interactive ones. Like, that love to teach despite the pay. But y'all need to get paid more, though. So, I don't know, fast forward a month or 2 months, he just announced the class, yeah, you guys, you know, something. It'll be a new teacher covering for me. Then boom, like, okay, wow, it's happened to me again. For what reason? I don't know. He never explained it. But when the new teacher came in, bad, bad, curly hair, I don't know, little mix.
Could have possibly been, and he just
Yeah,
throws in the
yeah.
towel. There's like 5 minutes left of the period. He's just like, go, just leave, get out of here. But if I'm being totally honest, I honestly kind of feel bad. Like, that guy was chill. I fucked with him. I don't think he works at that school anymore. So, Mr. D'Amato, if you're watching this, I'm really sorry. That was me and Jackson. We were throwing the M&Ms at you. So, yeah, that's the story. We pretty much just made our chemistry teacher crash out. Alright, so I don't really know what to put in the final thoughts section of a storytime video, so I guess I'll just talk about college more, because that's not a scam. I don't think it's a scam, but that's how they get you, bro. Remember how I was talking about the bullshit classes I had to take and how I have to pay for it? Why the fuck am I taking these classes? That's how they get you. Like, yeah, you'll get a degree, but we're also gonna make you take all these dumbass classes and spend all this money so we can get more of it. Like, genuinely, what the fuck is the point of all of these classes? Why am I taking accounting as a marketing major, you know? But yeah, that's pretty much going to be the video, guys. If you liked it, subscribe. If you didn't, fuck you. More love.
Very good video, man. Very good video. Comment down your favorite hold on. Comment down your favorite what I'm about to say. Subject.